Okay, here we go. I'm feeling weird, but I told Jay I'd do it, so I'll try. If it doesn't turn out good, I won't do it. But we're going to talk about And Justice for All. It is a absolute unique classic album. If you like hard rock today, you owe to Metallica and Justice for All. It took metal in directions that it had never been before. The you got your verse, chorus, bridge, intro, outro. So a good song will have like five or six unique parts with your little connectors or whatever. And I remember them talking about the guitar player having to solo to write solo or lead guitar over it, and the bass player having to learn the songs. The songs on this album had like 13 and 14 parts. That was a very unusual thing and one of the first, I think, in metal to really do it, or any kind of popular music. Um, Famously, you can't hear the bass on the original recording. I think partly they were hazing the new bass player, which you think that was hurting themselves by tuning it out. But I also think some of it was the guitars. There's some thick guitars on And Justice for All, and they were scooped, which means the lows and the highs are turned way up and the mids are turned all the way down. And I think I've always heard that you need to have mids in the guitar to differentiate it from the bass. So there might have been some of that, but I think to get in a good mix, they say you have to have mids in a guitar, but I don't think there's anything like a guitar sound that's scooped. Highs and lows all the way up and the mids all the way out. I think that's a really good sound, especially with a distorted electric guitar. What else? Oh, And Justice for All. It was their last album in the whatever style of writing or whatever style of arranging songs that they had then. The next album, the Black Album, they used. I remember hearing Jason Newsted, their bass player at the time, talking about how they just discovered that there was such a thing as a rhythm section, which kind of means that the bass and the drums and the rhythm guitar will stand on their own apart from the other guitars and things like that. And before the Black Album, their first four albums, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, they were all written. I should think of a name for it, but they didn't have a rhythm section doing what rhythm sections do. It was like everything was playing the song. Most of it was going after the rhythm guitar and following that. And I don't even know how to explain this any better if you're not understanding this, how to understand it. Like the rhythm section might be doing something different than the rest of the song, and it kind of weaves together. That's not what they were doing on the first four albums. And Justice for All was just a non-stop riff fest of just riff after riff, speeding up, slowing down, hitting grooves, stopping dead on a dime and backing up. If you like jamming, heavy distorted guitar, And Justice for All is non-stop. What else? Oh, and I think that style of writing without the separate rhythm section, with everything just working on the same melody or on the rhythm guitar, to me that's what made those first four albums so great. They had a few great songs after that, but not near as consistently. Something about the way they wrote those songs and the way they changed something. And I don't think for the better. I mean, they had to evolve, and I mean, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over. But I think that's one thing that made those first four albums special and stand out. And like I said, some of the best music, especially hard rock music, ever will be made. And yeah, talk about the songs, particular songs on it a little bit. And whenever I went back and listened, I've literally listened to this album for years and dozens or hundreds of times. So I can't hear the songs the same way anymore. Like some of them actually I kind of wore out a little bit that I would have listened to nonstop, kind of wore them out. But a few kind of stand up to this day. There's a couple classics. The first song is called Blackened. It is straight up about destroying the earth with a nuclear war. Lyrically, it's really cool. It paints a picture. It's a really, what do you call it, bouncy riff. And it goes all over the place, changes and grooves. It borders on speed metal for a while too. And then the next song is And Justice for All. And this was the very first one. It's the title track too. You wouldn't think this. This is the kind of the one that started getting old for me first. It's just too long. And that's actually one of the really I think things that makes Metallica stand out was they're one of the few bands that have and could make a song 8 or 10 minutes and it still be interesting and you not get tired of it. You're looking forward to hearing it more. But I think And Justice for All just should have been a little bit shorter, and then it would be absolute. It is classic, but it would never have gotten old. Oh, and that reminds me, Jay, I forgot a Metallica song called Outlaw Torn. Speaking of 10-minute songs, it's one of the few songs after the Black Album that I think is really good, and it's a 10-minute jam. Check it out. I think it's on Load, not Reload, which would be the album right after the Black Album. And there are some really good songs on the Black Album. That's where the style changed, the writing style. And they went just a little bit more radio friendly, but there's some really nice, thick, riffy guitar in there. 4 or 5 of the songs on that album I think are outstanding. Okay. Third song, Eye of the Beholder. That's a groover. It's groovy. Every song in this album is full of riffs and full of changes. And one of the most classic metal songs of all time is next. It's called One. It's a pretty much a horror story that could happen to somebody in a war. They basically lose their arms and legs. They can't see. They're just this piece of meat that's somehow still alive. It's horrific. But it literally could happen. And they based it on a movie called Johnny Got His Gun, I think is what it's called. A war movie, and they wrote the song based on that. Next song, and Shortest Straw, Harvester of Sorrow, Frayed Ends of Sanity. Those are the next 3 songs. They kind of, I hate to say this because I just listened to this album nonstop front to back when I first got it and for years following. It's something about them, they're not quite as good as some of the other songs. But they're super groovy, riffy, non-stop grooving and riffing songs. And then they had an instrumental on their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th album. And to me, this is I think they're all awesome, the instrumentals. But Jay said he needs vocals to have a song be really good for him. So there are about 5 words in this song. What is it? The song is called To Live Is To Die. It's an instrumental. I'm trying to think of there is a line of words in it. But it's like, I don't remember how long it is. A long jam with just like 1 line of words in it. Don't worry about it now. And the last song is called Dyer's Eve. And it's the word I think of with this song is it is just violent. But it's not like plenty of songs could be violent and be nasty or filthy and not good. This is still a super quality riff fest, speed metal fest, but it's just violence. but you're not hurting anything. So it can be a way to get it out of you in potentially a healthy way. Like I said, I've gone back and forth with listening to this stuff and my belief in Jesus. But I finally realized that that's why I rely on the instrumentals. That way I don't have to worry about putting bad lyrics into me, or even ones that aren't necessarily edifying. I mean, a song can be about war, and that can be a great song, and it can be all good, but I don't necessarily want to pound those words into my head constantly, so I like the instrumentals sometimes. And Dyer's Eve, it reminds me I was on the topic, and if my mother ever sees this, she can know that I never thought of her when I was listening to this song. He's basically writing a letter to his parents about being pissed off at the way they raised him and held him back, and apparently he did have quite a childhood. I don't think violence or anything like that, but I think he was raised in something called Christian Science, which I'm not even sure exactly what that is, but I think they basically don't believe in medicine. And it definitely would have made him weird in school and stuff, and he would have had that to deal with. And I remember his dad was in one of their videos, not a song video, but one of their behind-the-scenes videos. I was going to say, I think his parents died when he was young, but no, maybe his mom did. I'm not sure. But he had a little bit of a rough go with that. And take a pause and think for a minute. Oh, and if you have headphones or whatever, you'll hear the drums on this album. You'll never hear drums like them on any other album. And it's actually, they were kind of, I don't know if it's because they got some criticism or what, but some things about this album have been criticized over the years, but I think it's what made it so special and unique and good. The drums definitely got some criticism over the years, but they're neat and cool, and you'll never hear anything like it ever again. And the classics, Blackened is a classic song. One, I don't know, I've never looked it up, but it's one of the most classic metal songs ever. I think To Live Is To Die is one that I can listen to over and over and over. And Dyer's Eve is just that is a heavy metal song to measure songs by. I'm going to listen to that one again when I get off of this one. Remember, Mom, I'm not thinking of you when I listen to that one. And the other, they're all non-stop riff fest, groove fest, change fest, interesting music that you can just groove out to. That's about all I got on it now. And Justice for All by Metallica. They called it maybe a progressive metal album. They might, like I said, if you listen to heavy music now, you owe, whoever your band is, owes something to Metallica. They might have invented progressive metal with this. This is not at the time they did it though, but they definitely pretty much invented speed metal. Or were among the people that invented it and refined it and brought it to the world. And I'm going to call that good. Remember, like, subscribe, share, hit notifications, and I'm going to give you a moment to do that instead of just signing off real quick. That's it. I always think of stuff after, but we'll call this. If you don't like this, it's Jay's fault. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks again, Jay. All kinds of ideas. Keep me going for a while. I appreciate it. Hope you like it. I understand if it's not your thing. I'll get an idea for what you really do. Like you did say you like those 2 songs I recommended from Life, Sex, and Death, and that tells me something. That's not necessarily what And Justice for All is. If you're a metalhead at all, you know what And Justice for All is. But anyhow, let me know if it's your thing, and I'll try to accommodate your taste if I can. Okay, I'm out of here.